everybody, and welcome to day one of our reflective journaling challenge. I'm so glad that you signed up. I'm glad that you decided to join us, and I really hope and pray that this is going to be a blessing for you. For the next 5 days, I'm going to be sending out prompts, and I encourage you each day to take some time to sit, to reflect, and to journal, and let's unpack and let's process through some of the experiences that we have had in 2020. Again, I believe that reflection is the means through which experience becomes wisdom. So it's by sitting and reflecting and going back over and replaying, not in a negative way, but in a way of, Lord, I want to learn, reveal things to me. What can I discover? What new perspective can I have about an experience that I have had that I didn't have at the time? That was really repetitive. What can I learn from an experience that I have had? What new perspective can I gain that I did not have at that time? That is the power of reflection. And then journaling is just a wonderful way to process and to get things out, and in a way where it just kind of gives you some clarity. So that's my hope. And I'm really, really excited about this challenge. And I think it's gonna be chock full of good stuff. And I think it's gonna get you moving in the right direction to begin to reflect and gain some clarity, and to maybe bring about some resolution to some of the things that you have experienced this past year. So the question for today is, what have been the most significant changes for you in 2020? What have been the most significant changes of 2020, and what was lost, what was gained, and what have you learned through them? What have been the most significant challenges of 2020? What was lost, gained, and learned through them? This is a key question because one word can really be used to describe 2020, and it's change. 2020 was chock full of unexpected changes, and every year is filled with changes, but 2020, we felt it, where things that normally don't shift and change were affected. How you go to school, how you go to work, how you purchase your groceries, everything shifted. Not being able to gather, holidays have been different, birthdays have been different, every facet of our life has shifted and changed, all the way to the point where stores don't even have coins, physical change anymore. Everything has been shifted and impacted. And so it's important for us to really look at what have been some of the most significant changes. Now, of course, we think of COVID, but I want you to think beyond COVID, because life continued in other areas. So what have been some of the most significant changes you have experienced this year? And think about it through this lens. Change itself is not really scary. It's the impending loss that's scary. Because if I were to give you $1 million, that is change. You went from whatever your current financial status is to having $1 million more dollars. That's a good change. But most change is not felt like that. It's not experienced as you're getting a new car, you're getting, a huge amount of money from nowhere. Many times change brings about fear, loss. Think of if you graduated from high school and moved away for college. While that was a good thing, there was change there, change in environment, change in living with your family, change in people. Maybe your high school friends didn't go with you to college. There was a change in responsibilities, a change in your independence. And those changes can feel like losses. I'm losing some security, I'm losing familiarity, but there's also things that are gained by going to college, new opportunities, knowledge, you're gaining new friends, so there are things that are gained, and then of course there are things that are learned. So many times I think changes are kind of all of the above. You lose some things with change, you gain some things with change, and then you learn some things from change. So to get us started on our reflective journey, let's pause and really think about, what were the changes I experienced this year? What was lost? what was gained and what I learned through them. And as you reflect, really give space for God to speak to you and for the Holy Spirit to reveal some things through you, that perhaps it's in this reflecting where we can maybe land in a place like Joseph, where it was meant for evil, but God turned it around for good. Yes, there was loss that was experienced, but I have gained something. I have learned something. And that's where we can say, like Paul, God is working things for the good. All things are not good, but God is able to work those things for the good. So again, here's the prompt for today. What have been the most significant changes of 2020? What was lost? What was gained? And what was learned through them? Take some time, pause, reflect, and we will meet back again tomorrow for our next prompt. Happy journaling.